Hey guys, I'm back. In today's video, I'll talk about my driver's predictions for the 2022 grid. I've waited until after Monaco so I can see how the first couple of races have turned out and how each driver has performed. I would really like to hear what you guys think the 2022 grid will look like, so please leave a comment with your most outrageous predictions. I'm talking like Mazda to Mercedes type predictions. Now I'm pretty sure everyone knows that next year there will be new regulations and that will probably impact the driver market too. Also in this video, I will be not considering any pre-existing contracts. So for example, I could say Leclerc can move to Alpine. Spoiler alert, I didn't predict that. Even though he has a contract with Ferrari. So let's start with the teams. I think that won't change. Haas, Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. It's quite obvious why I think Mazepin will still have a seat, unless he somehow managed to get kicked out of F1 mid-season. And if you believe all the rumours, apparently his dad will own the team next year. To be honest, I think that's pretty reasonable to believe because that team is shit. And for Mick Schumacher, it's obvious he's a talent, and if you look at his junior career, he's always been better in his second season. And obviously for Haas, he's a marketing tool and son of Michael and blah 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 blah. I think you can understand that. Aston Martin, Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel. Lance Stroll's dad literally owns the team, so I cannot see him moving. To be honest, he's a pretty good driver though, who is improving incrementally each season. I think Seb will want to stay because he will want to see how the new regulation cars feel like. There are also many doubts about his performances, but I think the incredible drive he pulled off in Monaco clears all those. Alpine, Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. I doubt Alpine will drop Alonso after only one season unless he's that bad. He's also got a historical link to the team and he's already getting used to the team pretty quickly. Recently it was announced that Alpine have already been in talks with Ocon, so I doubt he'll move teams. I don't think he's a championship caliber driver, but he's good enough for Alpine. Also, he's French. Ferrari, Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. I think already having a podium is a good omen for Carlos Sainz's time at Ferrari, and I think he'll stay until 2022 until Ferrari are ready to promote Mick Schumacher up to the main team. And Charles Leclerc is basically the Max Verstappen of Ferrari, and I don't see him leaving anytime soon. I reckon he's a multi-championship caliber driver, and Ferrari won't want to let him go. McLaren, Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo. I think Lando has really matured since his debut, but especially this season so far, and if I had to choose, he's my provisional driver of the season. McLaren have already caught onto this, so they signed him for a multi-year deal. I've only made a couple of videos, but in the videos I've made, the one that's aged the best was the one about Daniel Ricciardo. And out of all the videos I've made, it's the only one that I didn't want to age well. That vid will be in the cards up in the top corner. Now Daniel Ricciardo's start to this season has not been ideal, but when he picks it up, I think his pace will be on level with or even above Lando's. Red Bull, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. Okay, I mean come on, do you really think Max will leave Red Bull? They have invested so much into him that they literally make their cars all around him. It's quite obvious Max is Red Bull's golden boy, and I think that they will not release him anytime soon, even for a driver like Hamilton. Similarly to Ricciardo, Perez hasn't had the best start to the season, but unlike Ricciardo, he's had some highlights such as that Quali P2 in Imola. Personally, I think that he will definitely pick it up, because he is a proven race winner after all. I reckon he'll definitely be better than Gasly and Albon. With tyre management and race pace like his, it's no wonder Red Bull signed him. Now here's the part that everyone wants to see, the teams which have changed. First off, we have Williams. I've chosen Nicholas Latifi and Dan Ticktum to fill these seats. I think Latifi is a really decent driver with some really good pace, and he brings financial backing to the team, which I think will really be good for the guys down at Williams. Now Dan Ticktum is a bit of a controversial figure, but I reckon otherwise he's a very good and pacey driver. Out of all the drivers, I reckon he's the most likely to get that seat. Otherwise, I reckon it'll be Jack Aitken. I think he'll fill the shoes of the driver he replaces pretty well. Wait. You haven't subscribed yet? If you subscribe with notifications on as well, you will be notified early to my videos. It also really mentally justifies to myself making these, and it makes me push the limits of the quality of my videos every single time. This channel is still in its infancy and it's improving by every video. And it's also free, you can unsubscribe anytime you like. My Twitter is also in the description down below and I would really appreciate a follow. Here, I'll make you a deal. If I get more than 10 subs from this video, I'll post a vid for every week in the next 4 weeks. To be honest, I'm probably going to do this anyway, so you might as well subscribe. Anyways, back to the video. Next up, we have Alfa Romeo. I think they will have Antonio Giovinazzi and Callum Ilott. To be honest, I really don't rate Giovinazzi, and I think he's only there because he's Italian. Also, he has enough experience to lead the team to replace an outgoing Kimi Räikkönen, who will be replaced by Callum Ilott. I reckon Callum is a very good driver, and I think that he's very mature to have within the team. He's often shown promise, but has had his chances taken away by a driver who does not morally or talent-wise deserve a drive at all. Next up, we got AlphaTauri, and I think Yuki Tsunoda and Gian Daruvla will have that seat. I think Yuki Tsunoda has been one of the most overhyped drivers in recent times, but I think when he gains some consistency, he'll be a good midfield driver, but more importantly, a team leader who will be able to take the reins of team leadership from a departing Pierre Gasly, who will be replaced by Gian Daruvla. If you haven't seen my recent video on Gian Daruvla, you can most likely see it in the cards in the top right of the video right now. This video explains in detail his junior career and why I think he will be a future AlphaTauri driver. In addition, I think he'll also get it because he has more experience than any other F2 Red Bull Junior. Now here's the one most of you have been waiting for, the big ones themselves, Mercedes. I think they'll have Lewis Hamilton and, shock horror, George Russell. Now there's a lot of speculation that Lewis doesn't want to stay in F1 anymore, but like I said with Seb, I think he'll want to stay and see what the new regulations are like and see if they're worth staying for. Also, all the current signs are pointing to him not wanting to leave yet. Now I've already made a video on Russell already, which you can see in the cards. And I think Russell will fit that second seat. I swear I'm not biased, guys. If Lewis wasn't happy with the new regs, then Mercedes will need a new lead driver. And personally, I think Valtteri just doesn't cut it. I think that they will put Russell beside Hamilton so he can learn from Lewis as a second driver, so he's possibly ready to take the reins from 2023 onwards. Hello, it's future me. So I've seen some reports saying that Russell's already signed for Mercedes. But to be honest, I'm not sure if these sources are reliable. Skip over those, I guess. So next up are the drivers that I think will be retiring or having sabbaticals next season. I've put Gasly, Raikkonen and Bottas all in this section. I think that in the game of musical chairs that the F1 silly season is, Gasly will be caught out without a seat. In my opinion, he's a great talent, but he will become the latest victim of Helmut Marko and the Red Bull Junior Academy. I think it'll be sad to see him go, but sadly that's just how F1 works. I reckon he'll be back soon enough though. I think Kimi's days in F1 are now numbered. It is quite obvious that he is quite past his heyday. Sadly, in the past couple of years, he's lost his passion for F1 and
it's more like a hobby for me, so obviously I don't need to do it if I don't want.
I think he just doesn't care anymore, and I think he'll leave Alfa Romeo in 2022 to allow some fresh blood to be injected into the team. I don't see him returning anytime soon either. I think Bottas will retire next season, as I think he'll have a poor season this year. He's been trounced again and again and again and again and again by Lewis Hamilton. This obviously does not show him in a good light to other teams. I mean, who wants to have a driver who is consistently smashed by Hamilton and is now aging? A lot of people defend him by saying, oh, but it's his job to be a second driver for Mercedes. But to be an F1 driver, your only job is to be the driver on the top step of the podium and to be winning championships, which quite obviously Bottas hasn't done and will not be doing anytime soon, in my opinion. I'm still on the fence of whether he would have a sabbatical or a full-on retirement though. Well, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I'd really appreciate if you subscribe and follow my Twitter, which will be linked down in the description. That's it for today's video. Subscribe and see you.